We're back, and today we're talking about my top 10 anime of summer 2025 anime season. I made a list a couple of weeks ago talking about what I thought was going to be the best anime coming out in summer 2025. So check that list out so you can see how different this list is from that one. And of course, another disclaimer, you're not going to see stuff like Kaiju number 8, Dan Da Dan, Dr. Stone, you know, those big name anime Sakamoto days, because let's be real, everybody knows those anime are airing. Everybody's probably going to be watching those anime to begin with. You're here because you want new anime. You want new anime recommendations. You want to see those hidden gems that are airing right now, right? And that's what I'm going to give you with this list. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into it. And coming in right at number 10, we got Apocalypsebrer Minogra. Now, this is an isekai. I'm a sucker for the isekai genre. And the main character looks like he's gonna have the evil trait, meaning the people of the world that he was isekai to, whenever they look at him, they see like an evil entity, right? Now, the main character was reincarnated or transferred into his favorite game. And the NPC that he loves the most is like his first subordinate. And, you know, from first episode, I will say, it's interesting enough that I'm gonna keep watching, right? Of course, I haven't read the source material. The main character, he does have this evil entity, but at the very least, he seems to be nice enough to take care of people. Now, he is supposed to build his own empire, so it kind of reminds me of the whole, you know, that time I got reincarnated as Islam and how Rimuru essentially created his own federation. It seems kind of like that, but the main character is gonna be evil. We'll see how it goes. At least from episode 1, he didn't seem that evil, but you know, you never know. He might start crashing out here soon. But if you read the manga or the source material, I always want to hear your opinion because you know how good or how bad this thing can get in the future. So I want to hear your opinion in the comments down below. Next, we got, and you guessed it, another isekai. This season we have some very good isekai, okay? But this one is called Uglymug Epicfighter. Now, we have seen all sorts of isekai. The genre is definitely saturated. We have seen it all. We have seen being reincarnated as a vending machine, as a slime, as a sword, as a spider, as an ex-worker. We have seen them all, okay? But we have never seen being reincarnated as an ugly person, which is insane because the twist here is that yes, the main character was reincarnated into an ugly person, but he put so many debuffs on him to be this ugly that he just became godlike. Like he has so many stat points that he's just so OP. Honestly, this might be one of the most OP isekai characters ever. That's how OP this character is. But some of the drawbacks are insane. Like he's so ugly that even if he touches like a woman, he'll lose 10% of his health. And if he goes all the way with a woman, well, he just won't exist anymore. So yeah, it is kind of crazy. It is kind of weird, but it has very funny moments in there. And I'm all in, right? I'm going to watch it and see how it goes. It does have a lot of potential to, you know, be more than just a funny anime, especially with the main character dealing with the insecurities that he had in his real world life and trying to be isekai. But, you know, I'm going to have to wait and see because, again, I'm anime only and I don't really know how it turns out. It could be a whole gag anime for the whole season, right? I just don't know. But at least from episode 1, I was impressed enough that I'm gonna keep watching. Next, coming in at number 8, we got Gachiakuta or Gachiakuta. I don't know how you say it, but this is the anime that I was really hyped for because I did read the manga when it was first coming out. And, you know, coming into episode 1, I was really impressed. I do like the art style. I do like the character designs. The one kind of gripe that I have is the CGI at the end of the first episode. Like, I'm not the biggest fan of CGI. And at least for me, it kind of kills the vibe of the anime. But at least the story, the characters, they're intriguing enough where I'm gonna keep watching. I'm gonna, you know, slide the whole CGI thing. And honestly, if we're being real, the CGI is not that bad, but it is noticeable enough that at least for me, when I see it, it just kind of, you know what I mean? But Gachiakuta is a really good anime. I can't wait to see more of this story. I only read like the first 10 chapters when it was first coming out. So once we get, you know, past that point, I'm gonna be excited because it's all gonna be new content for me. But it's gonna be like the next My Hero Academia, right? Because this is made by Studio Bones. We know My Hero Academia is, you know, is gonna end here soon. So it looks like Studio Bones is gonna pick this up and kind of, you know, take it the long route. We just gotta see where it ends and how it goes, right? But at least from what I read in the manga, it's super exciting stuff. And if you're a manga reader, once again, let me know how far you have read, how far you got to it, and how much you love it. Next, coming in at number 7, Another isekai. I mean, this season we got some good isekais. Okay, this one is called The Water Magician. Now, what I like about this anime is that it is your typical isekai where the main character, gets reincarnated, and of course, he is OP. Like, he has magic, but he can, cast it without really doing incantations, which is not normal in this world. But then on top of that, he's like a youthful, like he's gonna be, young forever or immortal at the very least. At least that's what they're insinuating. But regardless, what I like about this anime is that it's kind of set up to be a good world building anime, right? Where we see that this character is introduced into this world and he's isolated, but then he's going to adventure out and kind of, see this world along with us, the viewers. At least from episode 1, the main character is likable enough. He's like your typical good character, and he meets another character that, he seems pretty cool as well, right? It seems to be like a bro journey. There's no female characters yet, so it doesn't seem to be like a harem, or it doesn't seem that it's gonna go that route. At least from the first 2 episodes, I gotta say, I'm interested enough in the world to keep watching. We have 1 more episode left. I'm gonna give it another episode and see how it goes from there. The 3-episode rule. But at least from what I saw in the first 2 episodes, I like it enough that I'm probably gonna keep watching just because I love these characters, at least what we have seen in the first 2 episodes. Now, I will say the animation from the opening sequence, I've seen a lot of other content creators baiting people, showing that opening sequence at how good it looks when the anime really doesn't look like that. And, it's kind of like a bait and switch. But that's a whole other topic, a whole other video. But let me know if you're watching this one. Let me know how much you like it. Next, coming in at number 6, we got My Dress Up Darling. This is honestly the only romance anime I'm watching this season. It was on my most anticipated list. It was a little bit higher up, but there's just some really good anime that came out, and it kind of took, the place that My Dress Up Darling was going to be. Now, I will say, at least comparing it to season 1, I loved season 1, and I am loving season 2, but it kind of, like the journey and how it started and how it ended in season 1, I feel like it lost a little bit of that magic because we already seen most of it, right? So now we're just kind of heading into more of the same. And it's not necessarily bad, but it just doesn't hit as good as it did when season 1 was airing. I'm still loving My Dress Up Darling season 2, but it's just not as high as I thought it was going to be in comparison to some other anime. But My Dress Up Darling is also a very fairly popular anime, and it is the only romance anime I'm watching, so I wanted to give it a little shout out. Let me know if you're watching it. Let me know how you're liking season 2 in comparison to season 1. Are you liking it more? Are you liking it less? Me, I still think it's good, just not as good as season 1. Next, coming in at number 5, we have Secrets of the Silent Witch. Now, this anime caught me by complete surprise because initially I thought it was going to be your typical just like slice of life / fantasy anime of, a witch that has some insecurities, right? And she does have some insecurities. She cannot really talk to people. She's kind of like a shut-in, right? But it turns out that this is one of the 7 mages, and being a 7 mages essentially makes you extremely OP. And by the end of the first episode, it had me hooked because I do love another anime trope where the main character is secretly OP, but they have their insecurities that's holding them back. And in this case, is the fact that the main character really can't communicate, and because of this, she created her own kind of magic system where she doesn't do incantations to do her magic, and instead she can cast them without really saying anything, which is extremely OP in this world. So she is an OP main character, and the ending of the first episode, getting into a little bit of spoilers here, is what really hooked me in this anime, right? Because it went from being your comedic, funny slice of life dealing with insecurities type of anime to an anime where not only are we dealing with those issues, but we have the potential to see some crazy battles here, because the main character is essentially going to infiltrate a university to protect one of the princes, and there's definitely going to be assassination attempts, and there's definitely going to be some battle, and we're going to see the main character kind of show off her abilities, and I like that type of trope in anime. So Secrets of a Silent Witch caught me by surprise. I'm hooked. I saw episode 2 last night, and I cannot wait for episode 3. But let me know if you're watching this one and how much you're liking it. Next, we got another anime that caught me by surprise. This one is called Taki Original Sin. Now, this anime is dark, extremely dark, and to my surprise, they really didn't censor anything. I haven't read the source material, so I don't know in comparison how dark the scenes are. I don't know if they actually censored it, but I just don't know because maybe in the manga they show more. But either way, what we get to see in this anime, we don't get to see in a lot of anime ever. It's dark, it's gruesome. It really kind of makes you think, because this anime deals with extreme bullying, and it's really sad, it's really rough, and every episode just has a cliffhanger that makes you want to click next after the next episode and just binge it all. I don't know how many episodes this is going to have. I don't know how the manga is. I believe it was only going to have like 6 episodes, and it's going to conclude the whole manga, but I'm not sure. But regardless, this anime is definitely a must watch of the season. Just know that it is dark. It does deal with some heavy stuff. So if you're kind of sensitive to that stuff, I mean, there's even warnings right before you watch the episode, so you know that what you're going into. Because again, we don't get to see this type of anime that often, especially not well made like it's done here. It kind of makes you think, you know, some people can be evil. But yeah, I really am loving this anime. It's really depressing. We don't get anime like this too often, so when we do and it's this good, yeah, go watch it right now. You're not gonna be disappointed. Next, coming in at number 3, we have The Summer Hikaru Died. Now, this is another anime that was in my most anticipated list, and it did not disappoint. Like, it's just a very tense anime. Like, the horror here is done very well. It is scary, it is tense. Just the aesthetics of the art style, like the camera angles, it really sets the tone and it really sets the mood. Now, I will say, when it comes to horror, I feel like the anime just doesn't do a very good job at portraying horror anime. Now, I could be wrong. Maybe I haven't seen good horror anime out there, but the very few that I have seen have been okay at best, if not bad. But I feel like The Summer Hikaru Died is very special just because of the art style, just because of the camera angles and everything that they're doing with the characters and the story. And I will say, it is very tense because Hikaru, if anybody even suspects him of not being Hikaru, he will destroy them. I mean, it's not even funny. This dude be looking at characters like, oh really? And you already know he's on the hunt. So yeah, it really does set up a lot of tense moments. I really am loving every single episode. There is a little bit of controversy out there because supposedly this is a boys love anime, and I'm guessing that some people are using that as an excuse not to watch it. And look, I don't judge, but I do feel like it's kind of childish for people that say that they don't want to watch, like, you know, something like a boys love anime or manga, or they don't want to watch an anime because the main character is a female. Like, at that point, I honestly think you're just a child. But yeah, The Summer Hikaru Died is extremely good anime. I haven't seen that many horror anime that are this good or this hyped, so I'm super excited for this one. I cannot wait to get more. Next, coming in at number 2, we have another anime that caught me by surprise, and we have Clevatess. Or Clevatess, I believe that's how you say it. But regardless, this anime, like the first 10 minutes went absolutely crazy, which I love when an anime does that. But then on top of that, just the setting, the world is setting up a lot of world building here. And then on top of that, just the story and the characters, right? Because we have your typical story where we have an all-powerful being going to destroy humans, and everything hangs in the balance of a baby, a human baby, showing this entity that, you know, humans are worth keeping, right? So now this all-powerful being is going to go into the human world and kind of see how humans behave, how humans are, and see and determine if he's going to end up destroying the world or not. Regardless, I do like animes that do this, but the characters here are so very well done. Like episode 1, it has its funny moments, its serious moments, and it's just done very well. But then episode 2 comes in and it hits you with the emotional impact. So not only does it have like great characters, great storytelling, but the depth of the characters are there to actually make you feel emotions for them, because you will feel bad for some of these characters. You will want to cry for some of these characters. I will say the first 2 episodes of Clevatess are absolutely very, very well done. It jumped to my number 2, you know, best anime of the season. I cannot wait to get more. And if you're a manga reader, once again, let me know in the comments what you think about this, because I love to hear from people that have actually read the source material, because you get like a good review out of them, right? So let me know in the comments down below. But for me, yeah, I'm gonna be here every single week, no matter what. Super excited. And of course, number 1, I mean, if you have seen my most anticipated list, you could have probably guessed what number 1 was going to be, and it's Lord of Mysteries. I will say the first 3 episodes were top tier. Amazing. The only thing that stopped it being a 10 out of 10 was really the pacing of it, because it was confusing. They were giving us so much information. They were moving from scene to scene so fast that, you know, you missed a lot. You really needed to watch this anime 2 or 3 times to really get all the information they were giving you and, you know, consume it and, you know, actually understand what was happening. But then we got episode 4. And I will say episode 4 is like the turning point of this anime, because episode 4 had none of the issues that 1 through 3 had, right? The pacing of episode 4 was amazing. It was good. They explained stuff, then they showed you what they explained, so it all made sense. It had badass moments, the music, the animation. Really, Lord of Mysteries is the best looking anime here, best animation of the season, without a shadow of a doubt. Nothing is gonna beat it, and honestly, nothing might beat it in the whole year either. But yeah, Lord of Mysteries is a must-watch anime of the season. If you're only going to watch one anime, make it Lord of Mysteries. Like, that's not even a joke. This anime is very well done. I love everything about it. Again, the pacing is fast. It's hard to understand. It is confusing, but just stick with it. It will click eventually, and you're gonna love it. But yeah, those are my top 10 anime of summer 2025. I mean, this is a very, very, very strong anime season. I'm gonna be watching so many anime. Usually, I start watching like 20, 30 anime of the season, and by like the second week, I'm down to like maybe like 4 or 5 anime, right? But here, like at least from this top 10 list, I plan on continuing to watch every single one because I was just so in love with the first couple of episodes. But let me know what you're watching. Let me know if I missed anything. There's still some anime that haven't aired yet. Like I believe there's the Gun Girl one that hasn't released yet. There's 2 or 3 here and there that I'm going to be watching and I'm going to be making a short on. But regardless, these are my top 10 right now, excluding some of the most popular ones, like I said, like Kaiju number 8, because those already are, you know, top tier. Like, of course, I'm going to be watching Kaiju number 8. But let me know what you're watching. Let me know if I missed anything. Let me know if I should check another anime out. And like always, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and I will see you on the next episode. Peace out. Boom.